As I am recording this, the year 2024 is coming to a close and I've been reflecting on everything that's happened on our little farm. This year has been filled with so many events and milestones, and yet it's impossible to fully capture everything with just a camera. We started building a new sheep stable, welcomed lots of offspring from all our animals, grew an incredible amount of food in the garden, got milk sheep, had a dog for 2 weeks, dealt with some flooding and experienced so much more. This year was the first time I ever tried to document what's happening by filming and making videos. At first I wasn't sure if I'd even share them on YouTube or keep them private. But after editing my first video I thought, why not? I've wanted to start a channel for a long time anyway. So I began learning the basics of making videos, editing and designing thumbnails, and I uploaded a handful of videos. I wasn't very consistent though. Life kept me busy with graduating high school, starting university in Vienna and taking on a new side job. Even so, I filmed much more than I could edit into the few videos I managed to upload. In the spring, for example, we got a little tractor. We hadn't had one before because we don't have enough land to grow crops or much space for making hay. But we got this tractor because it's useful for many other things too. Since most of our land is fairly steep, moving heavy things like stones with just a wheelbarrow is difficult. Now that we have this tractor, my dad has started using stones from our forest to make a path for it. We have also begun working on the foundation for our new sheep stable. We spent quite a bit of time building a beautiful stone wall. The space behind the wall still needs to be filled with dirt or gravel, and then we can place our sheep tent on top. This new spot is in the middle of the pasture, allowing us to use portable fencing to easily rotate the sheep's grazing area around the tent. Hopefully, this project will be finished in 2025. With spring came the gardening season as well. I filmed a few moments here and there, though gardening is mostly my mom's area of expertise. I mentioned some of the things planted in our garden in my update on Homesteading live video, but I'm not around the garden as much as I am with the animals, so I couldn't capture everything. Luckily, my mom filmed some things herself, and of course I have to include them here. When summer rolls around, I finally have more time to spend at home and outside. During this time, I finished a video about our new milk sheep, which was one of the biggest highlights of the year. But there were also smaller moments that created wonderful memories. For example, I harvested lots of herbs like mint and stinging nettle, drying them for my quails. I hung them in my room and it smelled like mint for days. Once they were dried, I stored the herbs in glass containers and now use them occasionally to add some variety to the quails' diet. I also started a new project with the wood carving tools I got for Christmas in 2023. Something very exciting happened when an acquaintance of my dad offered us the chance to work on a large piece of forest near our home. They don't have the time to maintain it right now, so they asked my dad if he'd like to help. The area hadn't been maintained for quite some time, so there was a lot of work to do. On one visit, we collected dead wood with our trailer and cut some of the smaller excess trees. We used the thick wood for firewood and chipped the thinner branches to make bedding for my quails. At the beginning of August, we fostered a shelter dog from Slovakia for 2 weeks. We had thought about getting a dog for a long time, but we were unsure about the workload and hesitant to commit to buying a dog in case it didn't work out for us. Fostering a dog was a great opportunity to see how it would go. There was even the possibility of keeping the dog after the 2 weeks. We got a lovely little dog named Medi, which translates to little girl in English. At first, we were very excited and amazed by her good behavior, especially considering that she had been abandoned and lived in the shelter for quite some time. She was particularly good on walks and rarely pulled on the leash. However, about a week in, we discovered that she had severe digestive issues. Apparently, there were many foods she couldn't tolerate, which caused her to vomit and have diarrhea, often inside our home. We did our best to figure out which fruits triggered her issues, but it turned out there were too many. The constant cleaning and worrying became overwhelming, especially for my mom, who cared for her the most. With all the other responsibilities at home, we realized we couldn't meet Midi's needs, so we decided to let someone else adopt her after the 2 weeks. I was sad to see her go, because she was such a nice and friendly dog, but it was the best decision for her and for us. She is now living with a kind, elderly woman who can give her the care and attention she needs, and I wish her all the best in her new forever home. At the same time, harvesting season was in full swing. I didn't document everything we harvested and grew, but we had lots of tomatoes, which we mostly processed into tomato sauce. It just started to rain, but these are all of the tomatoes I got from these plants. The tomatoes I harvested by now, and I want to show you what other plants we have here in the greenhouse. So here we have some peppers, which still need a bit of time. Here we have a cucumber plant. Then this banana plant, which obviously does not have any bananas. It's just here for the summer, and in the winter, or in the fall actually, I will take it to my flat in Vienna as I start university in fall. Here we have a fig plant or tree, but it's not that big actually. Here you can see a small fig already. And then back here we have some more peppers and some chilies, basil. I see the poppy here. Reminds me we have already harvested quite a lot of poppy seeds. So these we actually never plant, but they grow in our garden every year. This is the harvest from just these plants here. We also harvested squash, cucumbers and lots of onions. Other vegetables like carrots, potatoes, sweet potatoes, parsnips and more didn't make it into my footage. Aside from vegetables, we gathered plenty of berries and fruits, including apples, pears and plums. When fall rolled around, I started university. From then on, I only visited home on weekends and holidays. Just 2 weeks before that, in September, severe flooding impacted large parts of Austria. Luckily, we live at quite a high altitude and only got a little water in our cellar from the groundwater. Some small creeks near us swelled dramatically, and even new ones formed temporarily. We were fortunate, but others suffered significant damage to their homes and infrastructure. For instance, a railway line to Vienna had to undergo repairs that lasted until December. One unexpected outcome of the flooding was the incredible abundance of mushrooms a few weeks later. I hadn't seen that many in all the 7 years we've lived here. We collected a lot, made schnitzel to freeze and tried plenty to preserve them. All in all, 2024 was a fascinating year, full of new experiences. I'm truly grateful for everything this year brought, and I'm already looking forward to what 2025 will bring. I hope to create even more videos to share online and to have something to look back on in the future. A big thank you to the 38 subscribers who chose to follow our farming journey here in Austria, and thank you for watching. See you in 2025. Bye for now.